Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have some heartbreaking news to share with the music world. Clem Burke, the legendary drummer of Blondie, has passed away at the age of 70 after a private battle with cancer. Clem Burke was more than just a drummer. He was the driving force behind Blondie's signature sound. His bandmates, Debbie Harry and Chris Stein, confirmed his passing in an emotional tribute on Instagram, where they described him as the heartbeat of Blondie. They praised his unmatched talent, energy, and passion, emphasizing the immeasurable impact he had on the band's success. Burke was one of only 3 members, alongside Debbie Harry and Chris Stein, to play on every single one of Blondie's 11 studio albums. The band became one of the defining acts of the American New Wave movement in the 1970s and 1980s, scoring numerous hits across the globe. Their chart-topping songs, including Heart of Glass, Call Me, and The Tide is High, remain some of the most iconic tracks in rock history. Born and raised in Bayonne, New Jersey, Clem Burke developed a passion for drumming at an early age. He started playing in local cover bands and a drum corps before moving to New York City, where he began searching for the perfect band to showcase his talent. In 1975, he auditioned for Blondie, replacing the original drummer Billy O'Connor. Reflecting on that time, Burke once said, "My quest was to find my David Bowie, my Jim Morrison, or my Mick Jagger to front a band." He was determined to work with musicians who had the charisma and creativity to make a mark on the industry. Interestingly, before joining Blondie, Burke had also auditioned for Patti Smith's band. However, when asked about his favorite drummer, he answered John Bonham, which he later believed may not have been the answer Smith was looking for. Blondie released their debut single, Ex-Offender, in 1976, but success didn't come immediately. At one point, Debbie Harry even considered quitting, but it was Clem Burke who convinced her to keep going. "He really wanted to get out of New Jersey," she later recalled, crediting him as the motivating force behind the band's perseverance. Their first major breakthroughs happened overseas, in Australia and the UK, with hits like Dennis and Hanging on the Telephone. But it wasn't until 1979 that they truly exploded onto the global stage with Heart of Glass. That song, powered by a drum machine, might have threatened some drummers, but not Clem Burke. He embraced it, understanding that technology was just another tool in music. "It was threatening, I suppose, at first," he once admitted, "but I've never really found myself in the situation where a drum machine was going to take over." Blondie's sound was a perfect reflection of late 70s New York, equal parts punk, disco, and new wave. Burke's drumming was central to their energy, from the driving rhythms of Call Me to the masterful cymbal work on Atomic and the reggae-infused beats of The Tide is High. These 3 singles were back-to-back #1 hits in the UK, cementing Blondie's place in rock history. By 1982, Blondie's success began to fade. Their album The Hunter didn't perform well, and later that year, the band split. Burke didn't slow down. Over the years, he worked with a number of legendary artists, including Bob Dylan, Pete Townsend, Joan Jett, and Eurythmics. He also played with members of the Sex Pistols in the supergroups Checkered Past and the International Swingers. One of his most notable collaborations was with the Ramones. However, he later described the experience as not a happy place to be. Despite this, he continued playing with various rock and roll outfits, including the Empty Hearts. His connection with Iggy Pop also remained strong, having first met him while Blondie was touring with him in the late 70s. In later years, Burke performed Lust for Life live alongside Glenn Matlock and Katie Puckrick. In 1997, Blondie reunited for live performances. Their comeback was more than just a nostalgia act. The band returned to the studio and released the album No Exit in 1999. The album reached #3 in the UK and produced another #1 hit, Maria. Burke continued to tour and record with Blondie in the decades that followed, proving that his passion for drumming never faded. In a surprising twist, he even performed with Bootleg Blondie, a tribute band dedicated to the group's music. Following his passing, musicians from across the industry paid tribute to Clem Burke. Nancy Sinatra, who had worked with him extensively, expressed her grief, saying, "My heart is shattered." Clem became an icon as a member of Blondie, but he was also an important part of my band, the KAB. I was blessed to call him my friend. If I ever needed him, he was there. Gerald Casale of Devo also honored Burke, saying, His unmatched style and New York City cool set the performance standard for decades. Clem Burke was not just a drummer. He was an artist, a pioneer, and an inspiration to countless musicians. His ability to blend punk, disco, and rock rhythms with ease made him one of the most respected drummers of his generation. From Blondie's earliest struggles to their meteoric rise, and through his countless collaborations with music legends, Clem Burke remained a force in the industry for over 5 decades. His passing is a profound loss, but his music will live on forever. Rest in peace, Clem Burke. You will always be remembered as one of the greats. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this tribute and want to see more content like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments which Clem Burke performance or Blondie song meant the most to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.